Hey everyone, and welcome back to Wrote for a Cue. My name's Ad, and I am your host of this channel and your journeyman snooker player trying to become a better player over the course of YouTube videos. And today we're going to look at a suggested routine for absolute beginners, which was actually suggested by one of my subscribers. So Steve572, one of my subscribers, suggested why don't I have a go at a full table clearance as if it was a normal frame, but the difference being with every shot I have ball in hand. Now, I read the comment and I thought, that sounds a bit easy, but actually when I thought about it, it's still kind of a bit of pressure and it's maybe a good warm-up routine, and actually it might be good for absolute beginners just to get used to potting a lot of balls in a row, even, basically if you've got absolutely perfect position on every shot. So I decided to give this a go a couple of weekends ago, and I've just got around to making a video of it. Sorry I didn't get a video out last week. It's been absolute manic at work. It's still a little bit manic at work, but hopefully things are going to settle down and you're going to start seeing a little bit more content from me over the next few weeks. So let's take a look at how my first attempt went. So the routine starts as if it's a normal match, so you're breaking, and I'm not playing my normal break though. I'm trying to split the reds up a little bit, so I'm not trying to get back into balk. In fact, I'm actually going to come off the back of the I'm going to come off the rear cushion and try and split the reds up. But actually the reds didn't split very well, and that is the reason why this routine is actually not as easy as it sounds. So actually not a lot of these reds will pot, so I'm going to have to move some around with some shots, which makes it a little bit more interesting. And yeah, I mean, I'm playing position there, but actually I'm moving the ball every time, even on the colours. So that time I did actually try to play to get the cue ball into the pack, but I ended up managing to find the one and only gap. But there's still a couple of reds that I can pick off, so there's not too much wrong. No big drama yet. And so yeah, just concentrating on getting the pots in and concentrating on my cueing. So this is good. This is a great routine. I wish I'd sort of tried this when I was an absolute beginner, because it's a great little sort of warm-up routine. And also, although you're not playing for position, it is really tempting to start putting the ball in a position where you putting the ball in a position on the red where you might get a position on the colour easier. And that would be my suggestion if you're not an absolute beginner and you wanted to do this as a bit more of an advanced routine. It would be to try and do the same thing but do red colour before you move the red. So you could only have ball in hand on a red, so you have to get red colour. If you're really advanced player, then you could get it so you could do it so you have to get position on all the balls, but I think they just call that snooker, to be honest, so maybe it's not worth trying. Yeah. So I'm having to get the spider out here, but I couldn't get the red in any other pocket apart from this one. But I was hoping this would maybe give me a red to the middle if I moved this out the way, so I did. You'll have noticed that I forgot to put the black on its spot, but back it is. So, I mean, obviously I'm playing the black every time, because why would you not play the black every time? I mean, it's probably the only time I'm going to get a 147 if I manage to do this. But yeah, so another black, and yeah, leading over a little bit here, but managed to force the cue ball through the reds and move some around a bit, but they're still not nicely spread, which is a bit frustrating. So, but I can get through to this one, which in turn will hopefully free up the one that's sort of to the left of the bottom two. I've also got this one there, which for some reason I looked at that and thought it was a brown, but it's obviously a red. Forcing again the pink in and trying to get the cue ball through, which means I've moved this one out, so I've got another red to go at. Obviously still got that red. I'm leaving one red by the middle pocket, so that if I didn't manage to free up some reds, I would still have that one to go at. So yeah, so now all the reds are potable, not in every pocket or not in both pockets, but they are all in potable positions. So this is just now about keeping my concentration and keeping my cue action nice and smooth. Don't have to hit anything hard. I'm not trying to get position. I'm just trying to get these balls in. I'm not setting them up dead straight. I'm setting them sort of like, I don't know, 3/4 ball or 7/8 of a ball straight. So there's just a slight angle, just because I find that a little bit easier than playing a straight pot. And yeah, so it's just literally about keeping my concentration, trying not to think about what happens if I miss, and treating every shot like it's the first shot of a routine, because I very rarely miss in a practice routine. I very rarely miss the first shot because chances are I've got ball in hand in most routines. So yeah, so just not sure why I screwed back on that one, but just trying to keep my concentration going. So it's just a colours clearance. Obviously, I've done this many times, but this time I get ball in hand. Not to say, got a phone call, not a phone call, a message on my watch, which is probably not great for the concentration. But I do actually, this is the one and only shot where I think I play it from, where it lands. But never mind. And there we go. Last black. Do I move the cue ball? I do move the cue ball. So just this last black. And there we go. It wasn't a 147 because I did take a couple of blues. I think I took a brown and maybe a pink or a pink or a blue or something like that. So not a 147, but maybe you could try and get a 147. So there you have it, a clearance, but not a 147 because I did take a brown and maybe a blue, something like that. So it didn't quite add up to 147. So maybe that's something you could do, is to try and get a 147. As I say, if you can get those reds split up nicely, there's not much to do and it's quite an easy routine, but it is still fun to do and definitely useful for beginners, just to get yourself used to potting a lot of balls in a row and the pressure slowly starting to build, because you do start to feel it. I didn't want to fail that routine because it was supposed to be quite easy, so they do start to feel a bit of pressure towards the end. So anyway, thank you again to Steve H572 for suggesting it. If you've got any other suggestions for things you might want to see me try, feel free to drop them in the comments. If you did like this video, then please do drop it a thumbs up. And if you're watching this video without being subscribed to my channel, then do feel free to give it a subscribe. It's completely free and you'll get kept up to date with my snooker progress, which is fairly slow at the moment, but hopefully we're going to make some good strides this year. Anyway, thank you for watching. Thank you for bearing with me while I've not been able to put a huge amount of content out, but I'm hoping that's going to change as we move into the summer. And I'll hopefully see you soon with another video, maybe even a live rebroadcasted match, because I've played a match recently and I want to show you how that went.